Today marks the birthday of a champion of civil rights who followed in the steps of Gandhi with his belief in change through nonviolence.
As I have walked among the desperate, rejected, and angry young men, I have told them that Molotov cocktails and rifles would not solve their problems. I have tried to offer them my deepest compassion while maintaining my conviction that social change comes most meaningfully through nonviolent action.
That selection was from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s radio address, Beyond Vietnam. Robert Daniels of the Rest Stop in Jim Thorpe offered it free to the public Saturday.
It didn't seem that anyone else was putting on any Martin Luther King Jr. related events around the holiday up in this area, and I feel he's a pretty important person to know about, so I wanted to give people at least an opportunity to.
Daniels says there are many reasons to pay homage to the man.
He was a prophet of peace. He saw injustice and spoke out about it. He took a stand and was willing to give his life for it, and that's, whether or not you agree with what he stood for, he had convictions and he stood by them.
The PBS film Citizen King was also seen at the Mok Chunk Museum Sunday night. Saturday marked the second anniversary of the start of the war in Iraq. Peace seekers gathered all around the nation to raise awareness and mourn the dead. In Jim Thorpe, families came together to mark the day. The vigils were organized by the Lehigh Valley Peace Coalition.
30, Bridgeport, Pennsylvania. We come together to bear public witness in solemn vigil to mourn the 1,520 fallen Americans, sons and daughters of the United States Armed Forces, the over 100,000 Iraqis dead, and the millions of others across the globe who suffer under the triple evils of poverty, racism, and militarism. War hurts us all, and it only makes sense that families would be here because it affects everyone. And in the words of Martin Luther King, whatever affects one directly affects all of us indirectly. So to come out and remember those fallen is very important for all of us.
The names of the 71 Pennsylvania soldiers who have lost their lives in the war and Iraqi civilians who also died were read to the crowd. A Jim Thorpe man is spreading his message of nonviolence. Robert Daniels II recently toured India with Mohandas Gandhi's grandson. He says his trip was a pilgrimage to pay his respects to Gandhi, who has had a major influence on his life.
Violence doesn't really seem to work, and if we, as on the planet, are going to survive, I think we need to start looking at nonviolence. I found that I have a whole other family over there, an entire country of brothers and sisters that I didn't know I had.
Daniel says the more he travels, the more he learns people all over the world have the same concerns, hopes, dreams, and fears. Last night, several dozen Carbon County people joined thousands upon thousands of people from all over the United States in a silent vigil. The vigil at Courthouse Square was to show how war hurts us all.
What we hope to accomplish tonight is everyone gets so caught up in their daily lives, and we really want people to focus in on those who are hurting right now, those who are missing their husbands, their sons, their daughters. We want everyone to think about those families.
The vigils all around the country were a show of solidarity for Cindy Sheehan and all of the families who lost a loved one in Iraq.